much pressure is on Mike Tomlin?
Immense pressure. Let me say the man is 125, 68, and 1 in his career as a head coach. He's won 64% of his games. I do not want to hear about Mike Tomlin's job being on the line. Having said all of that, just because I don't want to hear it doesn't mean that I'm not going to hear it. You're going to hear it. Because people in Pittsburgh, some folks, some Steelers fans, and I run into them all across the nation, they're sick of it. And one of the things that I'm big on, as much as I support this man, what is indefensible is that year after year after year, his defense is a question mark, particularly with his secondary. Sometimes it's the pass rush too, but primarily with the secondary, an inability to get stops. Mike Tomlin was a defensive backs coach for 5 years in Tampa. Mike Tomlin was a defensive coordinator in Minnesota. Mike Tomlin, although his motivational skills, his ability to be a leader of men, to hold people accountable, he's been renowned for. The reality is that it doesn't disassociate itself from the level of productivity he put forth as a defensive-minded coach. I'm very, very big on your signature. What is it that got you to where you are? That is what matters. So if you are an offensive coordinator and you're ballyhooed as being elite like a Sean Payton, when you become a head coach, I expect your offense to be the joint. If you are a defensive coach, you Vic Fangio. I don't want to see your defense sticking up the joint if you in Denver. If you John Gruden in Oakland and offense is supposed to be your thing, I might have an issue with your defense, but I expect your offense with Derek Carr to be that because that's what got you there. Mike Tomlin's got a defensive background. And regardless of the fact that Antonio Brown is gone and Le'Veon Bell is gone, and those are very, very big things, and James Connors ain't measuring up to snuff, and now he's injured, and Juju Smith-Schuster does not look like a number one receiver thus far, and all of those things are valid. What I notice more than anything is that when you need to move the football against the Pittsburgh Steelers, we are years removed from the steel curtain. My God, Steeler fans like myself crave for it. We have not gotten it in quite a long time. And it is with that notion that I say, Mike Tomlin, people going to bring the heat his way because they're tired of seeing the Steelers not get stops.
One of the differences between you and me and what we argue about a lot is you care about how someone gets it done. I don't you care about accuracy if it's a quarterback. You care about person doing the thing that you feel is their identity. I couldn't care less. Just get it done. By hook or by crook, get it done. And the thing about Mike Tomlin is, we were talking last segment, is Sean Payton the top 5 coach? You said everyone would have to agree. I do agree. Belichick is in a class by himself. And the other 4 guys who are there based on longevity and excellence and changing with the times and success and all that are Tomlin, Pete Carroll, Sean Payton. I'd say Andy Reid, even though he hasn't won a Super Bowl. Tomlin is a top 5 NFL coach, period. He's never had a losing season. So how much pressure is on him after the 0-2 start? I got to be honest. Roethlisberger's injury takes a lot of the pressure off, guys. It just does. If Roethlisberger's out for an extended period of time, you have none of the killer bees on the team anymore. Le'Veon Bell gone. Antonio Brown not only gone, but in New England. And now Roethlisberger down, a lot of the pressure's off Tomlin. I will say this. He has a chance now. I think it's more like a chance to do something good than it is a problem if something bad happens. What's the one knock against Tomlin, really? I don't think it's that the defense has been bad. It's that he won with a quarterback he inherited. Can he win in another way? Can he develop a guy? Can he steer Mason Rudolph in such a way that the Steelers, they don't have to even go to the playoffs. Can they be 8-8? Can they avoid a losing season for the first time in Tomlin's head coaching career? There is a chance here for Tomlin to prove something that he hasn't been able to prove so far. He inherited a team and just kept it going. No. Can you do it without Big Ben? But I don't think now the pressure is so much on him. He doesn't have his quarterback.
You're wrong, Max. You're wrong. Here's why. First of all, you said that Mike Tomlin's a top 5 coach. If we're talking a top 5 coach, okay? Coaching matters more so in the National Football League than any other sports league. I think we all can agree upon that. Even with Big Ben being sidelined, you would think, we've seen examples of other coaches where quarterback gets hurt, where they're able to coach their team up and still are able to win games. So I don't think the Pittsburgh fan base will let Mike Tomlin off the hook just because Big Ben Roethlisberger is not on the field.
But
I don't know if we're being fair, though. A 2-point loss to the Seahawks. They're a great team, and it was against the Patriots. The Patriots are going to stomp everybody.
But see, Molly, it's not about this game against Seattle. It's not even about the Patriots game from Week 1. This is a build-up over time, okay? Because the Killer Bee era in Pittsburgh, there are a lot of people that say Mike Tomlin he has a losing record, but maybe underachieved with the Killer Bee era in Pittsburgh. Okay, they might have had the most prolific offense in football over a good period of time in Pittsburgh. But going back to what Stephen A. said, your background is a defensive head coach. You're a defensive coach. Mm-hmm. Okay, the first 2 games, you've given up 31 points per game and almost 435 yards per game. Okay, and this is not just some anomaly by the Pittsburgh defense. The Pittsburgh defense has poured many resources into that unit over the past 5 years. The past 5 years, they've invested first-round picks into that defense. The past 5 years. First-round picks into that defense.
That's fair.
And
the
where has
been good.
nobody will consider this Pittsburgh Steelers defense Blitzburg. That's what we used to call it. When I used to play the Pittsburgh Steelers, it was literally Blitzburg because they were just coming all over the place and wrecking havoc.
Thank you so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.